Hi, Salam. I'm Masarrat Misbah, and you're watching me on the E-Show only on Womenly.
Hello, 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 and welcome to the E-Show.
Thank you so much.
So, how are you doing today?
I'm good, Isha.
You're doing well?
Yep.
So, tell us something about yourself.
Okay, so I may have gray hair, but I'm very young.
We know that. Forever 21.
Yeah, forever 21. So I'm Masarrat Misbah, and I've been in the beauty industry for the last 42 years now.
MashaAllah.
And so I've seen lots of ups and downs in my personal life also, and in my field also.
Yeah.
But things have, mashallah, been really good. Apart from running the largest chain of beauty salons all over Pakistan by the name of Depilix Beauty Clinic and Institute, we have now got, mashallah, nearing 80 salons all over Pakistan.
Wow. So, how do you manage all that? 80 salons, that's not an easy job.
Yeah, it's not. My daughter Rida
Yeah.
is, of course,
A very good helping
a very
hand.
good helping hand. I would say she has actually taken over.
Oh, wow.
And
mashallah.
she takes care of the salons. I'm more now into my manufacturing of products, and of course my NGO, which we'll be talking
again.
at length later in your show. So managing such a big business empire is actually not that difficult if you delegate duties.
Yeah.
If you had the competent, skilled workers with you. And I'm so proud to say that, in the beauty industry, mostly it is a women-oriented business,
Yes.
which means that we are empowering women.
Yes.
Okay? And we're talking about a franchise. On an average, they have 30 to 40 workers, and let's say 90% are the girls or the women. So 90 women, 90 families, and then the society at large benefits from it.
Yes.
And we also make sure, Isha, that these girls who join our franchises, they have to get their training from our head office, which brings me to the point where I have to tell you that we have got institute, which is known all over Pakistan, and we are affiliated with international organizations also.
Oh, wow.
So we get accreditation. The women or the girls who would like to become beauticians, hairdressers, or makeup artists, they could be because of the international accreditation, and if they're like migrating to another countries and all, the degrees, the certificates are recognized, so
Yeah.
they do get job easily. So. And then of course we have our PR team, we have our social media team, and so mostly, like I said, women. So I'm really very proud and happy
that women are empowering other women.
because
yes.
nowadays the words like women empowerment, entrepreneurship, or rights of women. When I started back in 80, there was no such thing. We were just working women, trying to survive, trying to make a point and show it to not just our family but to the society also, that we are women of substance.
Yes.
So this is how it all started. And
that's wonderful. The most successful beauticians and makeup artists of Pakistan were your students.
I'm so proud of it.
And how do you feel about that?
I feel so good because not only are they successful, I feel good when they actually, tell other people that, we have done it from Masarrat Appa, or we have done it from Depilix. Makes me, feel so good. And I'm so happy because not only are they running their own businesses or salons, but wherever they're working, whenever I meet them or I meet their owners, they are very proud of them. They say, well, you've trained them so well, and so they are the bestest of the workers. If they're working somewhere, they're the bestest of the salon owners or business women. If they have got their own businesses, and that makes me so proud.
So you've been in the beauty industry for 42 years, like you said, and trends keep popping up, and you see all of these different, makeups, and compared to then and now, there's a lot more makeup and a lot more like products and hacks and trends and styles like the fox eye and whatnot. But other than that, in the beauty industry as a whole, what difference do you see, and how do you think that it's evolved over these years?
Okay, so it has, come to a point where people are recognizing this industry. Women are more and more into this industry. The difference between when I started and now is the number that has increased as qualified and skilled beauticians or workers or makeup artists and hairdressers. Because back then, if you're working in a salon, you learn from there. You learn through experience or through the years that you've learned maybe things which are maybe done by the makeup artists or hairdressers or maybe the owners, that this is how it has been done. No science, no technology, no qualification and education in that. But now it is absolutely necessary that you should learn the trade. You should learn the tricks of the trade also, and you should be qualified if you want to compete. Because you see, nowadays, like you just said, that there's so many trends popping up, and people, the young girls are so fond of doing their own makeup and all, and they learn from YouTubers or makeup artists.
And every other page on Instagram is calling themselves a makeup artist, and nobody's questioning whether or not they have a degree or a certificate or anything regarding.
So that's where the difference is. That yes, you could be a very experienced makeup artist. But there'll always be a difference between an experienced makeup artist and a skilled, qualified makeup artist. So it's just like, my mother cooks very well, okay? But she cannot become a chef. I mean, I enjoy her food, but the qualification of a chef is definitely different from my mother's home cooking. So this is exactly the same with the beauty.
And I feel like that working on a face is like a work of art, and we do go to art school, so why not go to makeup school and really understand on how to work with different colors, different skin tones, different facial expressions, and different, because there's so much now. Makeup is not only about doing a photo shoot or a drama shoot or a series or a movie or any medium of media, but it's also like special effects makeup, and then there's a lot of makeup, because in some traditions of the world, when you are about to be put away after you die, there's a full face of makeup on you, right? So there's different sorts of makeup that one should understand, and how the face should look a certain way and how to make it look a certain way, and that can only be given to you after you are certified or you
and
understand the skills.
Like for a makeup artist, a client's face, or maybe her own face is actually a canvas. And you're creating your own masterpiece on it. Okay? And makeup is an optical illusion, because you're creating something which naked eye does not see, but you are actually giving that person, enhancing her beauty, her grooming. Like you just said, that it's not about just putting on makeup, but it's about grooming yourself, presenting yourself. Your confidence comes when you actually have a beautiful face done up. You cannot go to
you've presented yourself well.
And like there are occasions you have to do makeup accordingly. There's seasons you have to do weather. There's so many things which only comes when you are actually qualified and trained from a school. So when you go to become an artist, then you might as well become a beauty expert or a makeup artist.
So let's talk about makeup products.
I love it.
And they are halal makeup products. So why don't you explain to them what halal makeup actually means?
Okay, so when I started my beauty business, and we use a lot of makeup and different products, And then came a time when I thought that why not I make my own beauty products or my own makeup line, color cosmetics. And I started studying about it. Okay? So it took me 3 years to do research, study, and learn the manufacturing techniques and all. And I realized that most of the color cosmetics, not just the color cosmetics, but the beauty products have ingredients which are actually the byproducts of animals.
Yes.
Now, as a Muslim, it's not about not using the pig fat. You know, people say, oh, this is haram, this is haram. Fine. But then even if it is a non-zabiha animal and you're using that fat in your product as an ingredient, it is not permissible in our religion.
Yeah.
So my product line is halal, and it is not just saying it halal because I've used products which are permissible, but it is to get the authenticity, you have to get it certified by a halal authentic organization.
So is the product vegan? Or is it the Zibia animals that you're using?
Yeah.
All right.
So it's not vegan, but you know, number one, we do not test them on animals. So it's a cruelty free. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Then the products, the non-permissible ingredients are there. The chemicals which are being used are the ones which have no effects, harsh effects or reactions on you, like the carmine. That's very important, right? So, and then there is a beetle, you know, which they crush it and they take out the color, and that's cochineal, and that is actually again a non-permissible ingredient which has been put in a chemical in the product. So we get our products manufactured in Turkey. So from picking up of the ingredients to manufacturing to storage to transportation, this is a whole Sharia compliant way, and then only you get the halal certification.
Oh wow!
So I feel
it's a lot of work.
Yes, it is. So I feel so proud. I know that there are brands which have been in this field for hundreds of years, and I'm competing with them to let the people know, because when you know something, education, skill is to be imparted. You just can't keep it to yourself.
Yes.
So if something is not right, and if you've corrected it, you might as well, announce it to the world and say, well, this is your prerogative, whether you want to use a branded product or you use makeup, which says that it is halal.
Yeah.
Maybe to some people it doesn't even make any difference. They'll say, Keji, we're not eating it, so what's the difference?
Yeah.
But the fact is that, all my life I've heard that, Masarrat Appa, when I apply lipstick, I eat it, and it just, because you keep, putting your tongue over it. So maybe it's just minutest part of that product which has gone inside. But excuse me, it's not right.
Yeah.
So I thought that I'll work on it, and I did. And Alhamdulillah, now makeup, and especially our foundation, it's called Silk Foundation.
Oh, wow.
It's so popular amongst not just the media, but the common people also.
Yeah.
And it's very reasonably priced also. So it's not that you have to actually, just for one product, you have to, maybe
break your bank.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. So it's amazingly, pure. People like it.
Yes.
Popular. And we're competing, and I'm happy.
Oh, that's wonderful. I did not have any clue about the information that you gave me. I genuinely did not know. I just had like slightest bit of knowledge about it, but I've genuinely learned a lot, and I really can't wait to try this foundation now.
You will love it.
So in my next interview, I'll be wearing the Silk Foundation.
Yes. Not just the Silk Foundation, but
everything. The eyeshadow and the lipstick and the everything I'm going to be wearing from Misbah Masarrat, the makeup line. So, I know that a percentage of the Misbah Masarrat makeup line goes to the Smile Again Foundation, and the Smile Again Foundation is committed to not only provide medical care to these acid victims, but also provide them with the adequate knowledge and everything they need to stand on their own feet. Is that right?
Yes.
I was curious to know that what was your inspiration behind something like this, because it's very easy to donate money to different foundations and that's enough, but you actually started up something which not a lot of people are willing to do, and these people really deserve to be included in daily lives because they're special people and they're normal people and they're as normal as us, and no matter if you're differently abled or you look a certain way, it should not matter because the skills and everything you're willing to offer to the world is unparalleled to your shape, your size, your expressions, anything. So what made you start Smile Again by Triple X?
Okay, so you start helping people when you have the, when you have the power
and the
resource to help them.
Yes.
So I came to a point in my life where my business was thriving, my children were growing up into different, they own their field. My son teaches at Karachi University. Rida was helping me in my business. So one day a girl walked into my office, and I was about to leave my office, everyone has left, and I said to this girl who was clad in all, she was covered up and she was wearing a burqa, like we say, and I said, Bete, aap kal aayega, come tomorrow. And she removed her veil and she looked at me and she pointed her finger at me and she said, itni badi beautician bani phirti hai, help me, make me, better. And I get these goose pimples even now that in front of me was a young girl who's lost an eye. There was a hole instead of her nose. Her neck and chin was contractured. This arm was all burnt. This was fine. And I looked at her and I sat down because
you were overwhelmed.
Oh my God, I just couldn't take it. I said, बैठिए, let me come back to you. I went into my office, drank a glass of water, and I said, Allah Ta'ala, please help me. Went back to her and I said, what had happened? And she said that somebody had thrown acid. So I said to her that, makeup is not going to help you, I'll take you to the doctor. And started calling my friend, were doctors or privately or maybe in hospitals and all. But they were all busy. They said, bring her tomorrow. So I told her, I said, I'll take you tomorrow. And she says, I don't have a place to stay. Where do I? I said, where have you come from? So she had walked all the way from railway station to my salon. And she was actually, she was so, I couldn't believe it that, and I was so frightened of the fact that what if the person who's done this is still following her?
Yeah, I have chills.
Yeah, and it's the same that when I remember even now. So I told her to stay in my office, and I went back home, and that was the turning point in my life altogether. Things just totally changed. I prayed to Allah Ta'ala, asked for His forgiveness, because all this time He's given us so much. He gives us so much, and we are so thankful.
Yeah.
We have to thank Allah all the time, number one. Number two, I said, give me strength to help this girl.
Yeah.
And, next day when I took her to the hospital, I, started working on her as, with different doctors. And after 10, 15, 20 days maybe, I then placed an ad in the newspaper saying that if you're an acid or burnt victim, come and visit us on such and such date. And I was like, if I can help one girl, maybe with my means and my resources, I could maybe help 3-4 more girls. But on that particular day, 42 burnt victims walked in. 42 girls were there, all ages different, young children, elderly ladies who've been burnt many years back, but they couldn't get any treatment properly done, all disfigured, mutilated, mostly from lower income bracket. And I said to Allah, Allah, I asked for 3-4 girls. I cannot afford to take care of 42 girls, but things started moving, people started coming forward, my family, my friends, my clients, they were all there to help these women. And the first day I was totally shocked, taken aback of the cruelty that these women have faced, the pains that these women have faced. And and they were still actually,
willing to
fight. And that is when I said, okay, now I'm going to put it properly and together. Registered myself. It's a non-profit,
non-profit
organization.
Yes.
And now we have got 766 burnt victims registered with us. And that's a huge, big number.
And just to know that there's so much more out there.
Yes.
Is so scary.
It's scary because no matter how much you give help and support in the form of surgeries and all, they never look the same.
Yeah.
So for them to be accepted by the families, have already accepted them. You can't leave your daughters or your children or your sisters, but then again, you are actually there's so much to be done.
Yeah, how can we put an end to this? If acid is being so openly used in households, what is the alternative that we can create as a community, as a nation, to put an end to this? Because if we don't, anyone can be the next victim. What can we do? What research analysts are present? Who is out there to actually help us put an end to such a topic?
So Isha, identifying the burnt victims, giving them free medical help and support, rehabilitating them to a point where they can stand on their feet and be empowered, confident, and be part of the society. And then spreading awareness about this heinous domestic crime. This is our 4 main issues in our mission also. So surgeries done by the government, training done by us, laws implementation, like you just said, why is assets available? Now that is a very, very sore point. Unfortunately, the implementation process is slow, and that's why the perpetrators get away from getting punished properly. The state would definitely help us once they are more settled, and hopefully, inshallah.
But you have been running this, sorry I'm cutting you off, but you have been running this foundation for a very long time, and I don't think that there's many households in Pakistan who don't know about this foundation. Why are we reaching to a point where we have to cater to the needs of the burnt victims? Why aren't we stopping the process of happening in the first place?
Yeah, so to stop the process from happening in the first place is actually lack of education, lack of religious knowledge, lack of implementation of the law, and of course when it comes to law, it means that the legalities of the whole process is very slow.
And I want to add one thing. I think it's also the lack of good upbringing in your children. You should not teach your son that he can treat a woman like that, or anyone for that matter, anyone who is less powerful than any individual, no matter of their gender, it does not matter. But please raise your children in a way where they respect not only humans but all living things, including animals, plants, and everything. This is not a way to live, and women or anyone should not feel fear when they are walking out on the road, or if they are, because it's their basic right to turn down a proposal, it's their basic right to turn down anything that does not resonate with them, and they should not be in fear of the consequences of their basic right. So before anything else, we can fight forever, and we can try to elude this thing out of our country or whatever, which will, if we start now, it will take 10-20 years to implement. But this is a basic thing that every mother can start with in their household, and I really would like to sort of raise awareness to this topic in particular.
Thank you.
Sorry, I got a little overwhelmed.
No, that's amazing, because gender equality is very important. And like you just mentioned, everything about raising the children, education, etc., etc. I will be coming to Toronto.
Yes, I'm so excited for that. And we will be sitting again, and we will be talking more about this topic in particular, because we can go on and on and on and on about this.
Yeah, because it seems that there's so much which has to be the awareness has to be created, not just amongst our people in Pakistan, but people who are living abroad.
Yes.
So that they know that women are, the human beings, like you said, are to be respected,
Yeah.
and women in particular.
Yes.
And their rights and their, their tarbiyat, as you say, upbringing is very important.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Hope to see you there soon.
Thank you so much for coming on my platform. I think that all the topics that we touched on today were very, very important. They were very prevalent in this day and age, but not talked about enough. And I feel like hopefully with this podcast and interview today, we can raise the awareness and really the knowledge in those people who tend to overlook a very important topic. So thank you so much for sitting with me and sharing your thought. I'm so excited to meet you in Canada, and I'm so excited to try your makeup, and I'm going to share the review with all of you guys, so stay tuned.
Yeah, so but can I add something?
Yeah, of course.
Apart from what all you have said and explained to everyone, I have to mention that I know your mother so well. And,
Yes.
and when you were a little baby,
Yeah.
you were brought to Deplex.
My mother was telling me a couple of days ago that my first outing after I was born was Diplex.
Yes, and your mother has been an amazing photographer, and again a very hardworking lady.
Yes.
And salute to all the women, not just in Pakistan but all over the world,
Yes.
who have empowered themselves and have come out to show the world that they are women of substance.
Yes, and those women who have worked very hard, and also they have raised children and they have kept their household together, like my mother, who has been working ever
Amazing.
since I was in her womb. So
Yeah.
and she's working till now. So so yeah, kudos to all you moms.